Are you ready to start working for yourself and not work for others? Are you tired of your 9 to 5, of your corporate job, of having to clock in and clock out? At least I was 5 years ago when I was in Morgan Stanley, fresh out of college. I thought I had the dream. I got a position as a financial analyst. I was getting my Series 7, my 66, which sounds fancy, but it's just a bunch of studying and licenses that help you qualify for a bigger position but don't really matter. I was tired of that, and within 6 months of starting my corporate life out of college, I quit and I started my entrepreneurial route. And I broke it down into 3 simple steps as to how I did it. And if you're in a similar position where you're stuck in your 9 to 5, you need that 9 to 5 to make ends meet, or because you're scared of what others would think, or because you're in debt, there's a variety of reasons why we all stay in our 9 to 5 jobs. Most of it is security and comfort. I'm gonna break it down right here in 3 steps what you need in order to quit your 9 to 5 and how I did it. Step 1, the most important one. You have to be very conscious and very prepared for the uncertainty that's gonna come your way for the next 12 to 24 months after you quit your 9 to 5 job, because it's coming. And if you're the type of person that freaks out when pressure comes, then you need to build the habit of dealing with pressure better. You need to build routines. You need to have discipline. You need to read books on grades. You need to join masterminds. You need to invest in yourself. Let's put into example. When I quit my 9 to 5 job, I was heavily in debt. Matter of fact, I was $50,000 in debt, but I still quit my job. I did not have a safety blanket. I actually had to trust myself, and there was a bunch of uncertainty. But what created that certainty for me to take that step was listening to Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor and joining their masterminds, going to their events. Instead of going out on the weekends and drinking and partying and spending money on stupid shit, I started putting my money towards education, towards books, towards mentors, towards coaches, which built my certainty and my belief in myself to be able to take that next step. If you're planning or want to quit your 9 to 5 job, I highly suggest that you start building habits that will benefit you. That when pressure comes, you can keep your cool. One that's been very beneficial for me lately has been the cold plunge. It teaches you that once your body starts freaking out and it wants to get out, your mind can control it, and you can control how you feel. Highly recommend the cold plunge if you don't do it. But number 1, be prepared for uncertainty and build routines and habits that can battle that uncertainty so you can continue pushing forward better. Step 2 is equally as important as step 1. Step 1 is as key as it gets. If you don't have step 1, you're not gonna get to step 2. If you can't deal with uncertainty, then you can't get to step 2. Number 2 is you gotta be open to failing. Failing and learning. That's the name of the game. Without failing, you're not gonna learn. Without failing, you're not gonna try new things. You gotta stop being scared of failing. Failure's part of the game. You just gotta be tactical and minimize the failures. I wouldn't say minimize them, but don't let them affect you as much. You gotta learn how to get over it quickly. The failures are gonna come. I have failed a bunch. I have lost a lot of money in the last 5 years investing in bullshit investments that I shouldn't have invested in because of fear of missing out. Investing in bad projects in real estate because I got greedy. I have failed, but I have failed forward. I don't let that hold me back. I let that inspire me and motivate me, and I learn from that. You guys gotta be ready for a lot of failure and a lot of uncertainty. Number 3 is more of a tactical one, and it's something that I highly suggest, and it's really all very important. But number 3 is you better have a good support system behind you. A good family, good friends that support you, or maybe mentors and coaches. I'll tell you guys a little story. I didn't have those friends that were supportive towards my 9 to 5 job because they were going through the corporate world. One of my best friends became a doctor. The other one climbed the corporate ladder. So they were all going through the traditional route. I was pretty much the first one to escape that and want to take the entrepreneurial route. So I kept that in for a while. I didn't tell a lot of people about what I did till months after the fact. I didn't tell my parents I quit Morgan Stanley till 6 months after I had quit because I knew what was gonna come. And in a sense, I knew they didn't mean it in a bad way, but they wanted security for me and they wanted the best for me. But what people think is the best for you isn't necessarily what you think is the best for yourself, and you gotta learn how to trust yourself. And from a very young age, I've trusted myself. I've been quite confident in the actions I take and where I wanna go and how I wanna attain that. Having a good support system is key, but what if you don't have that support system right now like I didn't? I highly suggest, number 1, start reading a lot of books. My support system were books and YouTube videos from Tony Robbins. I credit Tony Robbins big time into my success because he changed my mindset. every morning and every night. I had the habit of reading, and I was reading all his books. I joined his mastermind where I was watching all his videos every day. I surrounded myself with positive messages and things that would help me grow. If you don't have the support system from family and friends, that's not an excuse. You can find the support system from YouTube nowadays. There's a lot of support systems. There's groups in Facebook that some people will lend you a hand and help you out if you ask the right way. There's no excuse to not being able to quit your 9 to 5. It's all a mindset at the end of the day, guys. 80% of life is all mindset. I'm sure you've noticed that the days you wake up ready to go, ready to attack, you win that day and it feels great at the end of the day. But when you let the day attack you, when you don't win your morning and you don't win your day because you let something affect you, then guess what happens? Start losing. That's not what winners do. And it's not gonna help you quit your 9 to 5 job. Quitting your 9 to 5 job is a privilege. It's a luxury, not something to be taken for granted. Not a lot of people accomplish it. A lot of people end up going back to their 9 to 5. But with that said, it's not easy to do it. You better be ready for uncertainty. You better build discipline. You better have a good support system. And you better be ready to fail. I'm sure you were expecting me to tell you to have a safety blanket, have money saved up on the side just in case something goes wrong. I can't tell you that because I didn't do that. I was in debt and I didn't have money once I quit my job. But I had belief. And for me, belief is more important than having money. With belief, you can conquer anything. Money comes and goes. How you feel about yourself is the most important thing in the world. And that's why I always praise so much discipline, routines, habits, because that makes you feel better. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Guys, if you're looking to quit your 9 to 5 job, if you're ready to take that next step to become the better version of yourself, if you want to become an athlete, whatever it is, you can do it. But you got to start. You got to give to take. You want to become something, you might have to give up a couple things and do something else in order to get there. And that's where I feel like a lot of people are lacking. They don't necessarily believe that, but they just don't see that. They think it's just going to come right away, and it's not. If this helped you guys, please, I beg you to share the show. That's the only way it grows. I don't run ads on this thing, nor do I plan on running ads. I'm just looking to help younger people. If you're not young, if you're older, I hope this helps too. But I want to teach you guys and hope to give you guys lessons of things I've experienced that could help you win long term. I'm going to continue doing this, tell you guys little stories of how I did it. Hopefully it can motivate you to do it and help you. That's at the end of the day the most important thing. For me, personal excellence is the most important thing in the world, and making people realize that if they improve, then others improve, and then the world gets better. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll catch you guys next time.